Before we get started today on our flow, I just want to talk about bridge pose. Bridge pose is a really great back bending pose, and it's not a full back bend like you see gymnasts do. It's a nice stretch for your back to counteract all of the folding forward that we do all the time, especially in more westernized societies where people aren't so much working in the fields. We're hunched over at our desks. We're not really standing up straight. And bridge pose can really help with all of the pain that's associated with being hunched over all the time. There's a few different ways to come into bridge pose. Your feet are going to be about hip width distance apart on the mat. And you can have your hands either up above your head, stretching out, or you can have them back by your body. You can bring your fingertips to touch the middle of the back heel. That's a pretty good placement. Sometimes your arms are a little bit longer and your hips are really close into the heels. And it feels better to give yourself a little bit more extra space, bringing the hands out to the side. So no matter where the hands are, you're going to come up on a breath, rooting down through the feet, staying really strong in the legs. Lifting up the hips, pushing the belly up towards the sky. And as you breathe out, you lower back down. Try to go down one vertebrae at a time and take your whole exhale to come down. When I move with the breath, I usually do 3 of those. Inhale, lifting up, and exhale, coming back down again. You can also stay up in bridge pose. Inhale, lift up the hips. And if it feels good here, you can interlace your fingers underneath your back and then sort of scooch the shoulders even closer together and lift your belly up even higher. Now, if you're staying in bridge pose, I usually stay here for 3 to 5 breaths. But of course, if you feel any sort of discomfort, you can just come right out as soon as you would like. The last modification of bridge pose that I really love is a restorative bridge pose. Sometimes I give you this option during Shavasana. In a restorative bridge pose, you take a block and you can stick it underneath your back. I really like to come into bridge pose with the block on the second level up. So it's about 6 inches up there on this setting here. And set it right underneath the waistband and just lean into it. Now, this is pretty intense here. Your hips are lifted really high. It gives you support and it's a really nice stretch. But again, sometimes you might want to come out of this a little bit sooner and try the first setting. So putting that block at the lowest setting here. And that one is a little bit more easy on the belly, easy on the hips. Sometimes I stay in Shavasana the entire time with this block underneath my hips like that. And it lifts the belly up just enough so that you're counteracting that hunched over feeling, but it doesn't feel too stressful. So, any of those options during bridge pose are always a choice that you can take, especially during Shavasana, even if I don't present you with that option. Of course, you can always do whatever feels really good for you. So if you'd like to do that during Shavasana at any time, go right ahead. Today, we're going to start in child's pose. Come to your kneeling position on your mat. Make sure your toes aren't overlapping. You can have your knees wide, or you can bring them together. Inhale, lifting the hands up overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Stretch your fingers out and relax your forehead down towards the ground. If you like here, you can also wrap your hands back behind towards your feet with your palms facing up. And let your shoulders drape over the knees. If your forehead doesn't seem to comfortably reach all the way down to the ground, there's another chance to use a block there. You can just rest your forehead on the block Just find a way to get super comfortable. Let your body relax down into the mat. Start to call attention to your breath. Begin to lengthen and deepen each breath. Feel your back rising and falling as you breathe in and out. Feel your lungs expanding, filling up with fresh, clean air, and emptying out all the way with each exhale. Start to find your yoga breath here, the Ujjayi breath, which means victorious in Sanskrit. It's referring to the victory over the incessant chatter of the mind. The Ujjayi breath is a nice loud breath you can hear in the back of your throat. If you constrict your throat just a little bit, and imagine that you're fogging up a mirror with your lips sealed. Just listen to your breath, allowing that sound to completely fill your mind and push away all other thoughts so that you come fully present here and now inside of your body. Notice the boundary here between the self and the rest of the world. The skin, your skin that marks the boundary of the self. Bring your awareness to your skin. Notice how it feels against the mat. Maybe you have a slight breeze in your home and you can feel the air moving over the skin. Start to do your body scan here. From your fingertips, work your way through your hands, to your elbows, up to the shoulders, to the back of the neck. Bring your awareness into your face, noticing how your forehead is feeling in that spot between your eyebrows. Maybe your jaw has some tension in it. And then start to move down through the back, one vertebrae at a time, down the spine, into your hips and through the legs, knees, ankles, and toes. There's no need to change anything, although you're welcome to if you like. We're just noticing here. As you go through each body part, make a mental note of anything that feels off today, any sore spots, and remind yourself of any injuries you have, old or new, anything that may affect your abilities to come into a pose today. Remember that yoga is all about meeting your body where it is in this moment. It's not ever about the perfection of any posture. So you're always welcome to modify any pose in a way that's right for you. Or take a break if that's what you feel your body is needing at that moment. In child's pose on your back or belly, or in a seat. Most importantly, just make this practice your own. Take a few more deep, full breaths here, just being inside of your body. If your hands are wrapped back towards the feet, bring your hands back out in front of you. Start to come into puppy pose. Crawl the fingertips forward, lifting the hips up. Hips can come right above the knees or just behind. Reach your chin or chest down towards the mat. Feel a nice, gentle back bend here, stretching out the belly. On your next breath in, bring your hands back, lifting up your chest, and make your way to hands and knees, tabletop. And then adjust so that your knees come right below the hips and the wrists come right below the shoulders. Move through cat cow with the breath. As you breathe in, drop your belly down towards the mat. Roll your shoulders back. Bring your gaze up or forward. On your exhales, push your back up towards the ceiling, one vertebrae at a time, relaxing the head and neck down. Bring the gaze through the knees. Keep moving just like that with your breath. Try to stretch your breath out and lengthen your motion to match your breath. You can experiment with some alternate hand placements here if you like. If you're feeling any wrist pain, sometimes it feels nice to rotate the hands out to the sides or even to turn those fingertips pointing back towards the knees. You can also bring the fingers pointing in towards each other. You can move through those different positions, just finding whatever feels nice on the wrists. Come back to a neutral spine on a breath in. Exhale to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up. You can move around here. Find a nice, comfortable down dog position. Your hands and feet should both be about hip width distance apart. You can play around, widen the stance a little bit, maybe bring the feet together and just see what feels right in your legs. Every asana, every pose is going to look different in everybody because we're all proportioned differently. So the best thing to do is go by what feels good to you. Pedal out your legs, bending one knee towards the mat and then the other. Get the blood flowing through the legs and the hips. Check in on your shoulders here in downward facing dog. You want to keep those shoulders moving down the back, out of the ears, towards the hips. And your head and neck can just be dangling down towards the mat. Three sun salutations with the breath. Bend your knees, look forward to your hands. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hop or step right between the hands, forward fold. You can have your big toes touching with some space between the heels, or you can also have your feet on two different train tracks here, if that feels better. Take a half lift as you breathe in, lifting up the torso, bringing your torso parallel to the ground. Exhale, folding forward, relaxing the upper body down. Inhale to standing, bend your knees. Roll your spine up one vertebrae at a time. Arms float up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Side stretch. Inhale, hands high. Interlace your fingers, pointers up. Exhale, stretching down towards the right. Up to center as you breathe in, and to the left as you breathe out. Inhale, rising up to center. Exhale, standing back, bend cactus the arms or drop your hands down to your back pockets to support the lower back. Come straight back up on a breath in. Exhale, diving forward, hinging from the hips. Stay really strong in the legs, keeping the spine long as you go down. Half lift, breathing in. Double dip chaturanga as you breathe out. Plant your hands on the mat. Hop or step back to your high plank. Lower down halfway, keeping your elbows tucked in. Back up to breathe in. Exhale, halfway down again. Inhale, coming to up dog or cobra on the tops of the feet. Exhale, roll over your toes. Lift your hips up to downward facing dog. So I always wait in downward facing dog for at least 3 breaths because we all move at our own pace. And it's so important to be moving with the breath so that I don't expect everyone to be on exactly the same timing as me. I'm always going to wait for you to catch up. So just go with your breath. On our second sun salutation, we're going to be doing our side stretch starting to the left first. Bend your knees, look to your hands, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hop or step to the front of the mat, forward fold. Half lift as you breathe in, bring your hands to shins or float them over the ground. Forward fold, breathing out, relax everything down. Inhale to standing, bending the knees, rolling the spine. Let your arms dangle down till you lift your head up and then float your hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Side stretch to the left first. Inhale, hands up. Interlace the fingers, pointers up. Exhale, stretching down towards the left. Up to center on a breath in. And to the right as you breathe out. Inhale to center. Standing back bend, exhale. Straight back up, breathing in. Exhale, forward fold. You can bring your hands through heart center, or you can have your hands come wide like a swan dive. Half lift, breathing in. Pull the shoulders down the back, opening up the chest. Exhale, double dip chaturanga. Plant your hands, hop or step back to your high plank. Keep your knees up or drop them down to the mat. That's fine too. As you lower down, make sure you're not going below those elbows. Inhale, coming to up dog or cobra. If your legs are all the way on the ground, keep your elbows bent. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. On our last sun salutation, we're not going to do a side stretch, just straight up and down. Bend your knees, look to your hands, take a big breath in. Exhale, hop or step between the hands, forward fold. Half lift, breathing in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Inhale all the way to standing, bending the knees, stacking the vertebrae one at a time. Bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Going straight back down this time. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, diving forward. Keep the spine really long, hinging from the hips. Half lift to breathe in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. Try to bring the soles of the feet parallel to the wall behind you as you're lowering down. Up dog or cobra to breathe in. And downward facing dog as you breathe out. Lift your right heel high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, step your right foot through between the hands. And rise up on an inhale to warrior one. Back foot drops down at about a 45-degree angle. Front toes are pointing straight forward towards the short end of the mat. Hands are up, pinkies turned in. If you like, you can bring your hands down to your hips to do a hip check here. Make sure that that back, right, left pinky toe edge is glued down to the mat, and your front knee has a nice deep bend in it. Knee is right over the ankle, and then start to pull the left hip forward, really making sure that that back pinky toe edge doesn't lift up off the mat. Come as close as you can to bringing your hips squared off towards the short end of the mat. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands back up overhead on a breath in. Interlace your fingers, pointers up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, gentle back bend. Go really slow here. Be careful with the neck. Straight back up, breathing in. Exhale, humble warrior. Sweep your hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Push down, puff up the chest. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, fold forward, hinging from the hips, leading with the chest, keeping the spine really long as you go down. Once you find your edge, you can relax your head and neck and peel the arms off the back. Right side body can rest here against the right inner thigh. Push up through the hands. Feel your shoulder blades sliding down your back towards the hips, out of the ears. On your next inhale, rise back up to warrior one. Exhale, opening out to warrior two. Pivot the back foot around and bring your arms out in either direction. Check down to your feet. Front heel can intersect the back heel or the back arch. Peek at the back hand. Sometimes the back hand droops down when we're not looking. Got to keep it nice and high. Check in on the front knee. In warrior two, sometimes the front knee starts to lean towards the big toe side of the foot. Push it back in line with that ankle. And then bring the gaze right over the front middle finger. 5 yoga jumping jacks here with the breath. Inhale, knee straight, arms up overhead. Exhale, slowly sinking back down to warrior two. 4 more. Just go with your breath at your own pace. You don't have to stay with me. I'm just counting so you know where I am. 3, 2, and last one. Coming into triangle pose, straighten out the front knee. Scoot the back foot just a little bit closer to the front foot, making sure to keep the feet perpendicular to each other. Send your hips toward the back of the mat. Stretch your right arm forward. Take a deep breath in, lengthening the spine. Exhale, make a quarter turn down with the arms, bringing the arms perpendicular to the floor. And then check in with the back left hip. You really want to keep that hip in line with the rest of the body. Sometimes in triangle pose, we want to get down really far, so we start to fold that hip towards the floor. It's really much more important to keep it in line with the body than it is to go down very far. So don't worry about that. You can have a block under your right hand on either side of that leg if you like. And if it's okay on the neck, bring the gaze up towards your upper hand. On your next breath in, bend your front knee, rise back up to warrior two. Exhale, cartwheeling the hands down in the front foot. Send your right heel high to breathe in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. You can keep your foot up or drop it down. Make sure you don't go below those elbows as you're lowering down halfway. Inhale, coming to up dog or cobra. Drop the foot down. Exhale, roll over your toes, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Let's do that warrior sequence on the left. Left heel comes up high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, step your left foot through between your hands and rise up On an inhale to warrior one. If you like, you can bring your hands straight up overhead, or you can drop your hands down to your hips to do a hip check. Pushing that right hip forward, make sure to keep the right pinky toe edge really glued down to the mat. Front knee is right over the ankle. And once you bring your hands up, turn your pinkies in. Feel your shoulder blades sliding down your back. Interlace your fingers, pointers up, take a deep breath in. Exhale, really gentle back bend. Go nice and slow here. It's a balance challenge. Be careful with the neck. Straight back up, breathing in. Exhale, sweep your hands back behind you for humble warrior. Interlace your fingers, push down, puff up the chest. Take a deep breath in. Fold forward on your breath out, keeping all that length in the spine, hinging from the hips. Find your edge, relax your head and neck down, peel the arms off your back, and let your left side body come to rest against the left inner thigh. Push through the hands, keep the shoulder blades out of the ears, sliding down the back towards the hips. On your next breath in, rise back up to warrior one. Exhale, opening out to warrior two. Pivot the back foot around, bringing the feet perpendicular, stretching the arms out in either direction. Peek on the backhand every time. You got to make sure it's behaving itself. Check on your feet. Notice what your spine is doing here. Sometimes people have a tendency to lean over that front leg. You want your spine pointing straight up towards the sky. Feel the crown of the head stretching up towards the sky. And bring the gaze right over your front middle finger. Yoga jumping jacks on this side. Inhale, straighten out the front knee. Bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, slowly sinking back down to warrior two. 4 more, just going with your breath. Try to lengthen the breath and lengthen your motion, taking your whole breath to complete each motion. 2. And last one. Triangle pose, straighten out the front knee. Scoot that back right foot a little bit closer to the front foot, checking to make sure your feet are still perpendicular. Send your hips toward the back of the mat, stretching the left arm forward, lengthen the spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, making the quarter turn with the arms. You can grab a block and stick it underneath your left hand on either side of the leg. Notice what your right hip is doing. Keep that hip really open towards the side wall. Imagine that you're between two walls that are very close together here. On your next inhale, bend your front knee, rise back up to warrior two. Exhale, cartwheeling the hands down, frame the front foot. Send your left heel high as you breathe in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. Keep your elbows tucked right next to the rib cage. Inhale, coming to up dog or cobra on the tops of the feet. Exhale, roll over your toes, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Let's take a little break here. Make your way to child's pose. You're always welcome to take a rest in a different position if you're not comfortable in child's pose. Relax your forehead down towards the ground. Relax through your elbows, letting your arms drape down on the ground. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Try to make your way back to a nice, strong, deep, full breath here. Notice the texture and the temperature of your breath. inside of your nose. Notice how your breath is moving through your body. On your next inhale, lift your chest up, coming to hands and knees tabletop. Then bring your knees together to touch. Send your right foot straight out behind you, like you're stamping it into a wall. If that's enough, you can stay right there. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can lift your left arm up as well, stretching the fingers out in front of you. Take a deep breath in and out. On your next inhale, open out your arm and leg to the side. As you breathe out, bring them back in line with the body. Try for 4 more, moving with the breath. It can be a really big motion or just a tiny one. 3, whatever feels right to you today. 2, and last one. Drop your left hand back down to the mat, keeping the right foot up. Tuck your left toes under. Inhale, lifting the right foot up to the sky. Open up your hip. Bend your knee back. You can bend and straighten that right leg a couple times. Square your hips off towards the ground. Push your right heel high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, step your right foot through between your hands. Stay low. Bring the gaze forward. Take a deep breath in and out. On your next breath in, lift your left knee high. Arms float up overhead. Exhale, warrior 3. Send your left foot straight out behind you like you're stamping it into a wall. And the arms come out wide like airplane wings. If you really want to challenge here, you can try to bring your arms straight out in front of you. That one's much harder. Take one more big breath in here. Exhale, release your hands down to the ground. Lift your left foot up even higher. And let's transition to half moon. If you have a block here, you can grab the block in your right hand and find a spot anywhere in front of you that feels like a good balancing spot for that hand. Bring your left hand to your left hip and start to open out your hips toward the side. Keeping your gaze down towards the ground here is going to help a lot with balance. Once you've got your hips open, you can start to bring your gaze out towards the side. Maybe you can even lift that left hand up, stretching the left fingers up towards the sky. Take one more big breath in here. As you breathe out, bend your right knee, drop that left foot down on the mat, and make your way into warrior 2. As you can see, it's also a challenge for me. That's a challenging one. Let's make our way into prasarita, wide-legged forward bend. Straighten out your front knee, drop your hands down to your hips, and turn the right toes toward the long edge of the mat. Peek down at your feet, lining up those pinky toe edges, big toes ever so slightly turned inward towards each other. Pull your elbows towards each other behind your back. Puff up your chest. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, folding forward, hinging from the hips, keeping the spine really long, leading with the chest. Find your edge, relax your head and neck down, and release your hands down to the ground. You might want to adjust your feet here. My feet always want to go a little wider when I get my hands down to the ground. And then start to crawl your fingertips forward, stretching out through the back and the arms and the legs. Keep the shoulder blades locked down the back, moving towards the hips, out of the ears. Now walk your hands through your feet, turning your fingertips around so they're pointing in the opposite direction behind you. See how far out behind you can comfortably crawl those fingers. Find your edge and pull back. You always want to push the edge from the inside. Don't want to be right up against that edge. Now walk your hands back, bringing both hands right underneath your face. Weight comes to both of your hands to bend your knees and pull your heels in towards each other. Toes out, heels in. Inhale, rising up to starfish. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Take one more big breath in here. As you breathe out, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Send your right heel up high as you breathe in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. Keep the foot up or drop it down. Drop your knees down if you like. Up dog or cobra, breathing in. And downward facing dog on your exhale. Let's take another little break before we try that on the other side. Making your way to child's pose or any other resting position you would like to take. Relax down into the mat. Take a moment here to bring your focus back to the boundary of your body, your skin. Just notice how the mat feels underneath your skin, your fingertips touching the mat and your knees, tops of your feet. You don't have to change anything. Just notice what sensations you're feeling right now. Take a few deep, full breaths. Find your way back to a nice, strong, deep breath. On your next breath in, lift your chest up, coming to hands and knees tabletop. And bring the knees together to touch. Send your left foot straight out behind you, like you're stamping it into a wall. If that's enough, stay right there. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you can lift your right arm up as well, stretching the fingers forward. Take a deep breath in and out. On your next inhale, open out the arm and leg to the side. Exhale, bringing them back in line with the body. 4 more, just going with your breath. Big movements or little ones. 3, don't worry if this side feels the same or different as the other side. Remember, your body's not symmetrical. Your movements might feel very different on this side too. And last one. Release your right hand back down to the mat. Tuck your right toes under. Inhale, lifting your left foot up to the sky. Open up your hip. Bend your knee back. Bend and straighten that left leg a couple times. Square off your hips toward the mat. Send your left heel high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, step your left foot through between your hands. Stay low. Bring your gaze forward. Take a deep breath in and out. On your next inhale, lift your right knee high. Arms float up overhead. It's okay to drag those toes on the ground. Exhale, warrior three. Right foot goes straight out behind you like you're stamping it into a wall. Arms come out wide like airplane wings. If you want to try that extra challenge, you can try to bring your arms out in front of you. That's really hard. Take one more big breath in here. Exhale, drop your hands down to the ground. Try to lift your right foot up even higher and open up towards half moon. You can grab a block again underneath the left hand this time. Try to find wherever it's going to feel good. And keep your balance there. You can adjust where that hand is as you open up. Keep your gaze down towards the floor. Start to open up the hips toward the side. And then, if it's okay on your balance, you can bring the gaze out towards the side. Maybe you can even lift that right hand up, stretching the right fingers up towards the sky. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, bend your front knee and drop your right foot down on the mat, making your way to warrior two. Don't worry if you're not super graceful doing that. It's a hard one. It's a hard one to come in at, and it's a hard one to come out of. Prasarita, wide-legged forward bend again. Bringing the hands to the hips, straighten out the front knee and turn the left toes towards the long edge of the mat. Line up your feet with the pinky toe edges coming parallel. This time, inhale, lifting the hands up overhead. Exhale, sweep your hands behind your back like humble warrior. Interlace your fingers, push down, puff up the chest. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hinging from the hips, folding forward. Keeping the spine really long going down. Find your edge, relax your head and neck, and peel your arms off your back. Push through the hands to feel the shoulder blades sliding down the back, out of the ears. Release your hands. Let your hands slide down your legs, coming to rest wherever they feel good. If you can reach all the way down to the feet, you can tuck your fingers underneath the pinky toe edges of the feet, and then bend your elbows out to the sides to come even deeper into your fold. Release your hands. Bring both hands right underneath the face. Weight comes to your hands to bend your knees and pull your heels in towards each other. Inhale, rising up to starfish. Exhale, opening out to warrior two. Take one more big breath in here. On your breath out, cartwheel the hands down, framing the front foot. Left heel goes high, breathing in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. Up dog or cobra on a breath in. And downward facing dog as you exhale. Drop your knees down to the mat. Let's come into a side plank here. Roll onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot. You can stagger your feet here, left foot in front of right. Stack them, left foot on top of the right. Or you can drop the right knee down to the mat and kick the right foot off the side of the mat at a 90-degree angle. Left hand is stretching up towards the sky. If it's okay on the gaze, you can bring the gaze up towards the upper hand or just leave it sideways or down towards the floor. That feels better on the neck. One more big breath in here. Exhale, release. Roll over. Plant your left hand down, rolling onto the pinky toe side of the left foot. Stagger the feet or stack them, or drop the left knee down and kick your left foot off the side of the mat at a 90-degree angle. Right hand is stretching up towards the sky. Push the hips up. Imagine you're making a rainbow shape with your body. Take one more big breath in. Release. Come all the way down onto your belly. Taking a little rest here. You can stack your hands and rest your forehead on your stacked hands. Or you can rest on a cheek and wrap your hands back behind towards your hips with your palms facing up. Close your eyes. Feel your breath. Feel your body pushing against the ground as you breathe in. And the gentle release of pressure on your breath out. Bring your chin back to the mat. Hands come right underneath your shoulders. On an inhale, push your chest up. Then slide your fingertips forward. Drop the elbows down to the mat, coming into Sphinx pose. If this is enough of a back bend, you can stay right here. If you want a little bit more, stretching, back bending, start to straighten out the elbows. If that ever feels too intense on the lower back, you can just bend the elbows and drop them back down to the mat. One more breath in. Exhale, release your elbows down to the mat. Bring your left arm out at an angle in front of you. Kick your right foot up. Reach back with the right hand and pull the right foot in towards the hips. Release and switch sides. Bring your right arm out at an angle in front of you. Kick your left foot up. Reach the left hand back. Pull that left foot in towards the hips. Release. Lower your chest back down to the mat. Kick both feet up, coming into bow pose. Reach your hands back. Grab outside both of your ankles. On a breath in, lift your knees up to peel your chest up off the mat, keeping the gaze really low on the ground in front of you to protect the neck. Take one more breath in, stretching even higher. And release as you breathe out. If your head was turned to one side, turn it to the other side. Or you can stack your hands and rest your forehead on the stacked hands again. Close your eyes, reconnecting with the breath. Bring your chin to the mat. Hands come right underneath the shoulders. On an inhale, push your chest up and make your way to a seat. You can roll over the knees or swing the legs around to the side. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Soles of the feet come together. Knees are open out wide to the sides. Interlace your fingers. You can tuck them underneath the toes or just around the fronts of the toes. Push down on the knees, lifting up on the spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips, folding over the feet. You can open up your elbows, push the knees down with the elbows, and relax your head down towards the ground, rounding out through the back. You can keep your hands on your feet here. You can release your hands and start to crawl your fingertips forward, stretching out through the arms. Inhale, lifting your chest up. Bring your knees in. Knees pointing up towards the sky. Hands come behind you, fingers pointing towards the hips. Gently windshield wiper the knees side to side. Staff pose. Send your legs out long in front of you. Bring your hands on either side of your hips. And then rock side to side, tucking the thumbs underneath you just a little bit. Push down through the curve in the bottom of the palm, pushing the knees down towards the mat. Make sure your heels are still touching the ground. Flex your toes, stretch your spine up, crown of the head stretching up towards the sky. Everything is super active here. Try to keep everything else exactly where it is. Release your hands. Inhale, lifting your hands up overhead. Exhale, folding forward, reaching for the feet. Don't worry if you can't get all the way to the feet. You can rest your hands on either sides of the legs or just on the legs. Find your edge, round out through the back, and relax your forehead down towards your legs. On your next breath in, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. Let's come into half fish pose. Bend your right knee, pointing it up towards the sky. Cross it over the left leg. Left leg can stay where it is, or you can bring your weight over to the left and bend your left knee, wrapping it around the hips. Right fingertips come behind you at any point that's comfortable. Left arm can either hug the front knee or inhale, lift your hand up. Exhale, tuck your elbow outside of the knee to come even deeper into the twist. Gaze can come over the back shoulder or just out to the side. Release your arms, plant both hands on your left side, and tap your forehead down for your counter twist. Inhale, pushing your chest up. Wiggle out the legs. And let's come in on the left. Left knee comes up, pointing towards the sky. Cross it over the right leg. Right leg can stay right where it is, or you can bring the weight over to the right and bend your knee, wrapping it around the hips. Left fingertips come at any comfortable point behind you. Right arm is either hugging the front knee or inhale your arm up. And exhale, tuck the elbow outside of the knee. Release your arms, plant both hands on your right side and tap your forehead down. Inhale, pushing your chest up. Wiggle out the legs and come all the way onto your back. Bridge pose. Today we're going to try a bridge pose with our hands stretched overhead. Feet are about hip width distance apart, really close to the hips, knees pointing up towards the sky. Let's try 3 bridge poses here with the breath. Inhale, rooting down through the feet, lifting the hips up, stretching out the belly. Exhale, lowering back down to the mat. 1 vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. 2 more times, just going with your breath. Inhaling to lift. Exhale, slowly lowering back down. And last one. Draw your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift your forehead up to your knees, curling into a tight little ball, squeezing everything together. Release your head back down to the mat. Bring your hands to your kneecaps and do some circles with the knees. Maybe you want to try moving your legs in opposite directions this time. I usually move my knees in the same direction as each other, but it's nice to have a little variety. And find circles going the other way. Release your arms out wide in a T. Float your legs in a tabletop, 90 degrees in the knees and hips. Take a big breath in. Exhale, dropping the knees down to the right, all the way to the floor, keeping the knees together. Trying to keep that 90-degree angle in the knees and hips. Right fingers can tuck inside the crease of the left knee to help the legs stay down. And bring the gaze over to the left hand to complete the twist. It's okay if your left shoulder is up off the ground here. It doesn't need to be all the way down on the ground, but you can also try to just push it down. If it feels okay, just push it down towards the ground. Release your right hand back out to the side. Lift your knees up to center on a breath in. Exhale, dropping them down towards the left, trying to keep that 90-degree angle. Left fingers can tuck inside the crease of the right knee and bring the gaze over to the right hand. Release your left hand back out to the side. Lift your knees up to center, breathing in. And let's come into a shoulder stand. Point your toes straight up towards the sky. If this is where you feel comfortable, you don't want to come any further, that's fine. If you'd like to try to lift your back up as well, plant your hands flat on the mat. Bring your toes overhead and then start to peel the lower back up off the mat. Support the lower back with the hands and begin to bring your toes back up, pointing straight up towards the ceiling. It's okay if you can't come perfectly perpendicular to the ground. Feet just reaching in that direction is okay as well. And keep your gaze up towards your toes. Try not to turn your head side to side here to protect the neck. One more breath in here. Exhale to plow pose. Release your feet overhead, reaching towards the ground, but they don't ever need to touch, just going in that direction. If you like, you can release your hands, plant them back on the mat behind you to help with balance. On your next inhale, lift your feet back up to shoulder stand. Exhale, release, bend your knees. Let your back come down to the mat. And make your way into Shavasana. Find the most comfortable laying down position you can. Adjust your clothing as needed. Your hair. Lift your heart up and pull the shoulder blades down the back a little bit more. Bring your chin into your chest and let your head rock side to side. And then just let it fall back to its natural center point. Hands can be by your sides, palms facing up or down, or you can bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Here's a chance to try that restorative bridge pose if you like, bringing the knees up towards the sky and sliding a block underneath your back. Wherever you are, imagine that you're melting into the ground. Release your body. Check for any tension in any of your muscles. And if you find it, just let it melt out of you right into the ground. Release your breath, making your way back to natural breathing. And release your mind, just watching your thoughts come and go like the ocean waves. Find a few moments of stillness here to complete your practice today. Blink your eyes open. Make your way back up to a seat. Thank you so much for joining me today for yoga. Namaste.